Lights out, it's going down.
And we're back.
We're back with
Good
another
to be.
episode of the Earth.
We are. I am your girl C, the intelligence satisfaction strategist in the building. And we have.
For flip's sake, Hooch T.
Hey, girl.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. We are in the building once again.
That was so fun. I love starting up that way.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So we have another episode. What are we talking about today?
Girl, we are going to talk about self-care, something that is such a huge topic and no one pays attention to.
I'm sure we have some jazzy ways to spice that up. Let's get into it.
We sure do. I mean, what do you think about when you hear the word self-care? What comes to mind for you?
I think like most everyone, self-care, you're thinking about the surface level, like, got a shower, hair, makeup, you
Right.
know. But you know me, we got to get deeper than that. It's way more. Self-care is much more than that, especially when you're dealing with emotions and trying to build your life satisfaction. What about you?
Girl, showering is not self-care. That's necessary. Deodorant is
Okay.
not self-care. All of that is not self-care. Yeah, no, I mean, historically, self-care for me has been kind of an iffy topic, right? I didn't know much about it, but I always knew that taking care of yourself first, I didn't know. I believe that taking care of yourself first was like a selfish thing. So I was raised Catholic, and I'm not practicing now, but when you're raised Catholic, I mean, I don't know if you know, but like everything is guilt and shame, guilt and shame, guilt and shame. And putting you first is wrong. It's self-centered. So for me, when I learned about self-care, I was hesitant to do it. I thought, no, I'm going to care for everybody else first. So, I mean, were you did you coming up, did you have those same kind of beliefs about self-care, or did you know?
No, totally. I think definitely my perspective on self-care has evolved. And let's face it, I think I'm just now like at the point where I fully understand like the many components of self-care.
Right.
Growing up, I also experienced many different religions. My
Mm-hmm.
grandparents, they were Catholic as well.
Oh,
So
so
on
you know.
Saturday,
Yeah.
Saturday, I'm in Catholic mass.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, I'm in Baptist service.
Mm-hmm.
I knew Seventh Day Adventist. So I had a lot of experiences of different religions or spiritualities and how they impacted literally everything. So like I can remember as a kid going to sleep and like thinking, oh my God, did I do something wrong that's gonna send me straight to hell?
Well,
Like just
100%.
stress. You know what I mean?
You live in fear. Absolutely.
Yeah, so even growing up, you go through your teenage years and you're like wild and crazy kids, but you're also thinking in the back of your mind, like, I am in like doomsday.
Yeah.
So now I can honestly say that my perspective has balanced out tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and now self-care is something that relieves me
Mm-hmm.
from those emotions. Does that make sense?
It
So
makes
it's like
perfect sense. Yeah.
replenishing me
Mm-hmm.
emotionally and with the things that are going on in my life. So how does or how has your evolution evolved in the self-care area?
Well, I mean, if I'm completely honest, self-care wasn't something that I fully understood maybe until just a few years ago. Like I want to say maybe like in the last 5 years, I've truly learned what self-care means. And I've gone to therapy before, and they'll tell you self-care stuff, and but that never really sunk in. And it was kind of unfortunate because once I started understanding what it truly meant, the way my life changed, it's insane. So, what really made it sink in for me is the analogy of like you're on an airplane
Mhm.
and the oxygen masks drop. The flight attendants will tell you, make sure, like if you're traveling with children, make sure you put your mask on first before you put the
Mhm.
kids' mask on. Because if you can't breathe, or if you're panicking, or if you're not conscious, you can't help anybody else. And
Not
for
at
me,
all.
that's like the perfect analogy for the importance of self care is like our jobs are caring for other people. Like that's what we do. And how do we do that if we're not okay?
Exactly. Exactly. You used a perfect example. Also, another thing, just I was looking up, I was trying to look up the stages of life because, well, I could just speak on it without having, I wanted to have a fact, but
Mhm.
in Japan, they have like their theory is that at 40, you're entering, I don't want to misquote it, but like your elderly years,
Okay.
um, really at 40, but it's celebrated in
Okay.
their culture. Just the year the transition of 40 is highly celebrated as you're now a person that is full of wisdom, okay? And I think that that fits perfectly into just how all of a sudden things are starting to fall in place as it relates to self-care. So I don't think we're too late, but I also think that we're in a very unique position where we can share how to achieve self-care now. So no matter how old you are, this is like we're giving you the tools now.
Yeah. And in fact, like it's so important to me and it's changed me so much to understand that I've got to be okay to help other people. That I teach this. So, I teach psychology classes for a local college. I actually teach a whole module on stress, coping, and well being. And
Mhm.
one of my biggest things that is in that module is self care. So I'm teaching these, and I teach a lot of dual credit classes. So I'm
Mhm.
teaching a lot of high school kids this stuff to try to get this kind of like ingrained in them from an earlier age. And hopefully they don't have to, go through some things that we did. And
Mhm.
let me share my screen. I want to show you this video. And so it's a really short video,
Mhm.
but, and my study for my doctorate is on compassion fatigue.
Mhm.
So this video actually helped me verbalize to other people what compassion fatigue is, which is like that cost of caring. We help other people, and it drains us. And so this video shows how it drains you and how to get it back with self-care. So
Okay, let's check it
let me
out. You can see how the character is just his whole day is completely filled with just grabbing everyone's weight.
Yeah. And that's what it's like every time you're with. So I used to work at a mental health clinic and I was the clinic manager, and people would come in crisis. And that's so true, especially when you have somebody who's in a very dark place like that and doesn't
Mm-hmm.
want to be here. Helping
Mm-hmm.
them makes puts the scribbles on you, honestly. Like it, you give a piece of some of yourself to every person that you help like that. And
Um,
so,
and I can definitely share that same sentiment with my field, the courts. Every day there's something someone is dealing with, and it doesn't necessarily have to be criminal. You know, people are dealing with family matters, adoption processes, divorce, children, youth, misbehaving. You
mhm.
know, the courts deal with so much. And I'll tell you about my first experience when I got joined the profession and but it brought me to tears, and that's a whole nother episode. But the things that you wake up and go to every day, you bring that same thing home, or at least I try not to, but sometimes it's inevitable.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, I think back to the people that, I helped. And was I truly coming from that place of being fully okay, fully present, fully with them to help them? And sometimes I think the answer is no. And I can't help but feel regret for that. And there's some people you can't help. And I think it's normal to kind of say, what did I do wrong? What could I do different? That's a hard part too.
Well, and also, I'm sure you had lots of policies and
Mhm.
management issues that kind of put a boundary on what you actually could do. So that's another aspect that people don't realize. Like, even if you came into my office,
Mhm.
I might, the story might be so compelling to me that I'm like, listen, I need to help you right now. But all I'm able to do is provide resources, and the resources are always overloaded.
Yeah.
So holding that guilt that you really couldn't help in the way that you wanted to help is another obstacle that we hold on to, and it adds more scribbles.
It does. And the system isn't designed to truly help people. And it's funny because when you go out of your way to help somebody, especially in an organization, you're labeled. You're labeled that you have boundary issues.
Girl,
And
you want to look, we'll be on listen, that's another
that's
topic
a whole
because
episode,
we don't
boundary
even
issues
want to get on,
in the system.
yeah, and you being the person in the direct middle.
Yeah. But I mean, bringing it back a little bit, like it's just, making sure that we are in that place to truly help people. Like, are we good? Each and every
Hmm.
day as you walk out, did I do everything I could to make sure that I'm good so you're good? Right.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
there's, an assessment that I have my students do. And
Hmm.
in the assessment, there are 5 different categories of self care that I consider necessary to fully be yourself. The first one's physical. So, exercising, making sure you're eating right, making sure you're drinking enough water, things like that, going for a
Hmm.
walk, anything that you can do to be in your body. Okay. The
Hmm.
second one is emotional or mental.
Hmm.
Taking care of your mental health is so important. And I'm proud of the society for maybe putting mental health a little bit, more in the light and
Hmm.
normalizing that
Hmm.
it's okay to get help.
Definitely.
The third one is social, and we are social beings by nature, by design. We are not meant to be alone. We're not. And making sure, and we're not. I'm not saying have a million friends because I'd rather have a few close friends than hundreds of acquaintances that I don't really know. Um,
Exactly.
so take care of your social health, and then your spiritual health. Your spiritual self care should be, you don't have to believe in God or go to church to be spiritual. So that also includes things like meditation,
Hmm.
getting in that flow state. But it could be yoga, it could be all of those things where you just connect and you're
Music,
mindful.
there's
Yeah,
so many things that can speak to you.
yeah. And then the last category is creative. And so we also are by design beings that need to create something, need to
Hmm.
produce something, need to give something. We all have that essential argument that we have throughout our whole life. Why are we here? What's my meaning? What's my purpose? What is it for? And you take care of that with the creative category. So,
Hmm.
like with those categories, I mean, what would you say? Like, how would you assess your self care in all of those categories?
Well, you already know, physical is exercising,
You're so good about
and definitely, anytime I can get a little sweat in, I'm all for it. And I try to squeeze it in the most random time, at the most random time.
that.
So that's one. Um, my spiritual is just making sure I'm engaged in something spiritual. I don't necessarily go to church,
Yeah.
or I do go to church, but it's not as frequent as I like, and I don't
Hmm.
have a home
Hmm.
since COVID.
Hmm.
But I definitely engage in spiritual activities. As it relates to social, my social has declined in these last 3 years, girl. You already know
I think
because,
all of ours has.
girl, this doctor has desocialized me, okay?
No
Um,
PhD student has a social life. I promise you that.
okay, so yeah,
We
yeah.
get to,
But,
yeah,
but
that's our
we've
social.
been we've been jumping on creating this wonderful family of Earth
Hmm.
worlds. So yeah, shout out to the Earth family for bringing our social back, baby.
There you go.
Did I miss one? I think I missed one.
Emotional.
Oh, emotional. Well, that's my wheelhouse, the intelligence satisfaction strategist. That is what I'm building on, is that solid emotional intelligence. The deeper that I study into it, is so many aspects that affect every day. So I'm excited to dive into that. But I can say, as I have transitioned, and to this stage of life, my emotional intelligence has been like top priority.
Hmm.
Just perceiving my own emotions, understanding others' emotions, regulating my own emotions, and using those emotions to be the best that I can be. So that's what I'm all about. That's my current, and I think my evolutionary passion is emotional intelligence. So
Yeah.
what about you, girlfriend?
Did you get creative? Did you hit that one?
I didn't hit creative.
I don't think so.
Well, my creative vibes is a little bit of everything. So, yeah, I do a lot. Like, I love music, I love to travel, like, I love experiences. So that's how I get creative. It's like, planning different things for my family. Like, I love to see their faces after the finished product of me creating different things as it relates to music, traveling, or just different activities with the family. That's how I get my creative. So right now, I'm currently preparing the annual, I guess the kids call it a kickback for Halloween. So
Okay.
yeah, so kickback Halloween
First time I've
edition.
heard that. But
Yeah.
I love how you describe that because a lot of people think that creativity is only like the arts. You have to sculpt or paint
Hmm.
or, write music and that's not. Your creative energy can go into anything, a business adventure or,
Hmm.
planning, things like that. So that's a
Hmm.
really good point.
Thanks, girl. So
Yeah.
what about you?
Physical, that I am no, no. That category for me needs the most work is physical. I tend to, since I've been working on my PhD, and especially like this dissertation phase, I'm right here at my computer from 7, 8 a.m. till sometimes 2 in the morning. And I don't get up, stretch, walk. I need to do better. It's not healthy.
So
So,
if I put out some herb videos for daily workouts, would you join me?
yeah. You
Okay.
know my one of my favorite Teresa isms is you're not uncomfortable if you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. So,
Okay.
I'll do that.
So
I'll do it.
coming up next,
Coming up.
we'll
Coming
get that checked off the box.
My emotional mental, I take care of my mental health. I protect that with my life
Mhm.
because wow, if I didn't, that's scary. That's a scary place to go with everything that we're handling right now.
Ugh.
Oh my goodness, with school, family, work, and if trying to have a social life. So, yeah, that's just so much. And so I protect my space and my energy. I do not like to keep people around me that have that negative energy and interrupt my vibe. And so,
Mhm.
I had to make a conscious decision just to kind of distance myself from some people. And that has been all the difference mentally and socially. That kind of comes into social.
Mhm.
I've got a few close friends and there's people I know, but do I hang out or interact? Not really. So that needs a little bit of work. It's hard to hang out with
Maybe
you because you're in Atlanta.
I'm shout out to Atlanta. I did some videos today shouting out to Texas folks because you're on it down in Texas.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, shout out to Atlanta. But listen, that's why we're establishing this because to get more social, get more like-minded individuals who want to talk about emotional intelligence and
Right.
life satisfaction. And what better time to do that at our annual conferences? So like we'll
Oh
get to
yeah.
meet and socialize with the people that are with us, okay? So I think we're heading into that direction and hopefully I even think like an annual art trip, like where the people can get together and we really like get get down and dirty, like have a good time,
Hmm?
um, motivate, inspire, brainstorm off of each other, like totally like build this community up.
Yeah. Which is so awesome because that fulfills sort of that creative stuff too. I mean, the vision for that is just amazing. I can't wait. Especially, I want to see what comes out of you because I know those ideas are just flowing. I can see it behind your eyes.
I'm ready
So
to
come join
open.
us at our annual conference and be around people who give a darn like you. So that'll be great.
Yep,
Um,
and if you're interested in our annual conference, Teresa puts our contact information at the end. You inbox us, DM us, email us, just so we can start sending you guys out information. But send us your information so you'll be on the email list.
great. That's that's awesome. Um, yeah, and then spiritual.
Spiritual.
Oh, and creative. I love to play piano. I'm still working on
Uh-huh.
your song. So I'll take a day if I need to recharge, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But um, that's also my outlet. And music, we start everything with a song or we dance every time that we meet. Every time we find a song, you pick a letter, I pick the song, and we dance and we look like idiots. That funny story about
But
Ryan videoing
but
me.
but it starts the day off right,
Oh,
like
it's awesome.
totally.
So, and if I have my headphones on, my family's looking at me like I'm crazy because they can't hear anything, and I'm over here doing
Yeah.
that. It's so funny. But yeah, that's so fulfilling. And then spiritual for me, I do a lot of mindfulness. I practice gratitude. I feel like that's spiritual because the place that it takes you in your brain, when you practice gratitude in, not just superfluously, but like purposefully, intentionally practicing gratitude, kind of activates that same center in your brain as spiritual and prayer and things like that. And of
Mhm.
course, pray. So those are my spiritual ones. But I have a saying. I have a saying that I want to share with everyone, and that's another one of my Teresaisms, and those are all different episodes. But find your dog, and so that video did you notice that the man was, stressed and he had all those scribbles on him? And when he got home, his dog did as well. So the dog was stressed because he missed the man. The man was stressed because he helped other people. But then when they reunited, they were better. They were instantly perfect, right? They were back to themselves. And so that's kind of like follows the outline of what it means to find your dog. So
Mm-hmm.
finding your dog has two parts. And it's got to finding your dog is basically an activity or self-care measure. And it doesn't have to be a literal dog. Sometimes it is, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to feel those scribbles and that stress like physically melt away, just like it did on the man when him and his dog hugged, it just was gone. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the first part of finding your dog. And the second part, it has to reinvigorate you to go back out and keep doing what it is that fulfills your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And, one time someone asked me, what's your self care? Immediately, I said, watching football. Love football. If you've seen much about me, I love football. I love Iowa State. It's love it. But is it really self care? So, they were asking me about it, and I got to be thinking, and I was like, is that really self care? Because one, it has to like, get rid of all your negativity and stress. No, absolutely not. Because I'm watching and I am like, oh, sailor's mouth. Like I am cussing, chucking remotes. I am so mad if we make mistakes. And if we lose, you don't want to live in this house for the rest of the weekend,
Oh, I
you know.
know, girl.
And I know
My
you
house.
have a situation at your house where,
No, the house is bad for a week if those Falcons or Alabama lose. Shout out
hmm,
to
yeah,
Falcons in Alabama.
yeah, shout out to Iowa State. Play
Hey.
BYU today. Um, yeah, so I mean, and then second, does it re-energize me to go fulfill my purpose? Absolutely not. I might want to go do something else because I don't want to watch sports anymore because I'm that mad. But it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have that kind of like stress relief and reinvigoration. So that's
Right.
how you find your dog. And it
Mm-hmm.
put me on this like 1 year path of figuring out what my dog was. Because when I was teaching this the first time, I didn't have a dog. I felt kind
Mm-hmm.
of like a hypocrite, like I'm preaching self-care, but I don't even know what my own dog is.
Okay.
Finally, I found it. And I like to sit down at the piano and listen to a song and figure it out with play by ear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can read music too, but I choose to play by ear.
Okay.
And so I will figure out a song and then I'll turn the song on and turn down the volume a little bit and play with it. And then I'll record it sometimes and send it to people if it's inspirational, if I think it applies to them. I
Mm-hmm.
know I've sent you some. Um,
Mm-hmm. And
so,
you totally
and I
rock
did.
out.
The
Mm-hmm.
the stress goes away and I want to
Mm-hmm.
get back up and come back to this and learn
Mm-hmm.
how to help other people. What about you? What's your dog?
So my my dog honestly is traveling. And
Mm-hmm.
um when I can go to a scenery that is just absolutely beautiful and I can sit and just reflect.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I'm most happiest. I'm usually releasing whatever it is into that atmosphere and recharging with the atmosphere, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I have lots of visuals of where I'm just letting it all go in
Mm-hmm.
different places of the world.
Mm-hmm.
That for me is the most revitalizing time in my life, and that's why I try to do it as often as possible.
Yeah.
Um, and I told you, like, I want to get you out and get you to seeing some different stuff. Maybe we can podcast on location.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. We so are going to do that. I really haven't gone anywhere.
No, girl, like, you're gonna listen. You're gonna get sick of me. You're like, we're going somewhere else again. I'll be like, girl, yeah, I found a cell.
Hey, you know what? We're fulfilling that creative, spiritual, mental, and physical too. We're going to be jogging on the beach,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
It's all the
girl.
categories of self-care.
Yes,
I
girl,
can't
every
wait.
one of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's some good examples. I mean, great information, good examples. What is the message, do you think, to the viewers? And like, what is it about self-care you really want them to know?
The most important thing is self-care is 100,000% necessary.
Hmm.
There's no alternative to self-care.
Hmm.
You have to be intentional because it has to be released and you have to be recharged.
Hmm.
It's necessary.
Yeah. And I really
What,
like that
what, oh, go
that
ahead.
phrase,
Hmm.
nourish to flourish.
Hmm.
Nourish
Hmm.
yourself physically, mentally, socially, spiritually, and creatively. And then you flourish. And so one of the lectures I give, there's a statistic in there that only 1 out of 3 people ever believe that they're truly satisfied with their life at one point.
Wow.
1 out of 3. And that's just at one point. That's not always satisfied.
Hmm.
And so
We got
that's sad to
we
me.
gotta get that number up.
Yeah.
We have to get that statistical fact up. Like, and that's why we're here.
Yep. And that's,
We're
yes, that's
gonna
why we do it.
rise and be resilient.
Yeah. And I think so, that nourish to flourish, but the message that I think from me that I can share and that I want other people to know at a younger age or wherever you're at even, is that it's not selfish to practice self-care.
Hmm.
It's, and it goes with yours being necessary, but it is in no way selfish. You're going
Hmm.
to tell yourself that that's doesn't feel right, right? Doesn't feel
Hmm.
like I should be focusing on myself, but you will be so surprised how well you help other people.
Just by taking care of yourself first.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, T, I think we wrapped up another episode, girl. This
we
one
sure
had me
did.
feeling all goosebumpy and everything.
We
I
sure
loved
did.
it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
loved it.
Well, I can't wait for the next one.
Listen, y'all better tell y'all's crew about our crew. We're the Earth Girls.
Hmm.
Tell us where they can find us.
Oh gosh, you can find us on YouTube. Just
Mhm.
serp, just search Herb Girls, and you can find us on Facebook. And we are under the United Rise and Resilience Project. I guess we should say that's what ERP stands for, is United Rise and Resilience Project. You can find us on Instagram under ERP Girls. So just search that term ERP Girls, and you will have multiple ways to get in contact with us. Also, you can email us at connect@erp.net. Um,
We respond, guys. So don't forget to tell your crew about our crew. And we'll see you
Absolutely.
same place, same time next week.
Like, share, subscribe.
Lights